In the age before the world was settled, before the realms found their fragile balance, there ruled a god who refused to be blind to what was coming. His name was Odin. He was king of the gods, ruler of Asgard. But his throne brought him no peace, because Odin knew something the others did not want to know, that the world was temporary, that even the gods would fall, and that the end Ragnarok was not a rumor. To the certainty, Odin did not seek comfort, he sought knowledge, and knowledge, in the Norse world, never comes without risk. The ravens were born, long before the final battles were foretold. Odin created or perhaps discovered two ravens unlike any others. They were not ordinary birds. They spoke, they remembered, they understood. The first was named Huginn. His name meant thought. The second was named Muninn. His name meant memory. From the beginning, they were bound to Odin alone. They perched upon his shoulders, silent, watching, listening, their dark eyes reflecting worlds beyond Asgard. Odin's command, each morning, as the light touched the halls of the gods, Odin would rise from his seat. He would place his hands upon the ravens, and he would release them. Huginn and Muninn spread their wings and flew outward, beyond Asgard, beyond Midgard, beyond the sight of gods and giants alike. They crossed the 9 realms. They flew over battlefields still warm with blood. They listened at the edges of councils and feasts. They watched giants whisper plans beneath mountain roots. They followed mortals through moments of courage and betrayal. Nothing was too small. Nothing was too distant. They did not interfere. They did not judge. They only observed. The long day of watching. As the ravens flew, Odin waited. He did not chase their vision with magic. He did not force answers from fate. He waited. All day long, the Allfather remained still, knowing that until thought and memory returned, his understanding of the world would be incomplete. And this waiting was never easy, for the ravens were not invulnerable. The 9 realms were dangerous places. A raven could be struck from the sky, trapped, lost among giants, swallowed by the chaos beneath the roots of the world. Every morning carried the same risk. Odin's fear. Of the 2 ravens, Odin feared for both, but not equally. He feared that Huginn thought might fail to return, because without thought, the present becomes meaningless. But he feared even more that Muninn memory might be lost forever, because without memory, even a god forgets who he is. This fear was not hidden. Odin himself spoke it aloud, a king admitting fear not of death, but of forgetting. Nightfall in Asgard. As the sun fell and shadows stretched across the realms, Odin would rise again. He would step into the open air of Asgard and look to the horizon, and then, wings, black shapes against the darkening sky. Huginn returned first, sharp-eyed, restless. Muninn followed, slower, heavier with what he carried. They settled upon Odin's shoulders, and they spoke. What the ravens told. They told him of wars not yet begun, of alliances forming in secret, of monsters growing stronger in forgotten places. They told him of human lives, short, fragile, fierce. They told him of gods growing careless, and giants growing patient. They told him truths that could not be undone by knowing them. And Odin listened. He never interrupted. He never turned away. The burden of knowing. With every report, Odin's understanding deepened, and with it, his sorrow. Because the ravens did not bring hope. They brought clarity. They confirmed what Odin already suspected, that the end could not be avoided. Only understood that the final war was not a matter of if, but when. Why would Odin never stop sending them? One might ask, if Odin feared losing his ravens, why did he keep sending them? Because to stop would be worse. To stop watching would be to surrender to ignorance. And Odin would not rule blindly, even if knowledge brought pain, even if memory carried grief, even if thought led only to inevitability. Odin chose to know. Every day, the last days. As ages passed, the signs became clearer. The ravens returned with darker news. The bonds holding the world weakened. Old enemies stirred. The gods themselves began to change. Still, Huginn and Muninn flew. Still, Odin listened. He prepared not to prevent the end, but to meet it without illusion. The story's end. When Ragnarok finally comes, the ravens' voices will fall silent. The world will burn. The gods will fall. Memory itself will be swallowed by fire and sea. But until that final day, Odin continues his ritual. Thought into the world. Memory back again. a god who rules not through certainty, but through witness.